So anyhow, in a dream state last night, they're offering me. It was last night. It was earlier today when I was sleeping, because you know how they intercept your dreams and they come in your dream state because they want to offer you something because they know what they've done. And I am not a deal making type. I'm not gonna make a deal with the enemy for what they've done to me is gonna be done to them. Done to 144,000, and all these people working for them, attacking me with radiation. You're not gonna get out of this one. I mentioned it before, where your family is gonna be in a line. You cannot protect your families. Because I know what hurts people the most, because they taught me that. The enemy taught me that. Because then when they attack somebody you care about, then you understand. Same thing goes for the enemy. When we attack somebody you care about, you'll understand what you did was wrong. But that's, hey, God is in the driving seat. And what you've done is gonna come with the consequences. You cannot protect your families. When we have dominion over, when we have authority, we have authority. God given humanity authority. Humanity, He gave them authority, right? But dominion is given through a crown. When God given you a dominion, God given dominion to Solomon to control the jinn. He given dominion to David to control fear. So because he conquered by killing a lion. How hard it is to kill a lion? That's what it means. So he killed the lion in order to conquer fear. He also God given, what gave it David or Daud, he given him also dominion or over metal. He can melt metals, you know metals could, he can melt metals in order to mold it the way. Because remember, when they're telling you David was iron and metal worker, he used to make weapons and stuff. He used to mold metal with his own bare hands. He never used fire. He didn't use fire to mold to mold metal the way, to shape it to a weapon, whatnot, with his bare hands. You understand? He gave, Moses power or dominion over water. He controlled water. When he divided the Nile, and he let people out of Egypt. He When he struck it with his cane, he opened a channel between the Nile River, and he got people on the other side. So God given him. So all of the things I'm trying to get to your attention is, it's always been given to you. God always given you something. You don't really have dominion or authority. Humanity given authority, right, over jinn and whatnot and stuff. But dominion is a different thing. Dominion comes from God. Dominion comes from God. All God giving you dominion, and you will have dominion over things. So Solomon, jinn, water of Moses, he was given. Moses also, he had, I think, has to do with metal. He's iron. Remember, he had an iron serpent. He says, whoever looks at this serpent, who will not die. Remember, when Israelites were complaining about, how long it took, to go through the desert and whatever. And then God sent a bunch of snakes, and it bit these people and the Israelite. And he says, Moses, he had the snake was on top of his cane, and he says, whoever looks at this snake will not die from poison. So he also given dominion over water and stuff. He was a channeler. He can open all body of water. Think of oceans, lakes, sea, whatever. So So he has that. Solomon jinn. Solomon has a dominion over jinn, and David metal. He can mold metal with his bare hands. No fire needed, and he have dominion over fear. You know, when you have a heart of a lion, you have no fear. When the prophecy foretells that end times we will have a heart of a lion. We know no fear. You know, that is all gonna come in time. When Prophet Muhammad received his visions about Islam, and how he need to go and conquer countries and do stuff like that. All of that is gonna come up, through the messenger, which is Gabriel. Gabriel, he's the one who delivered the messages of God, right? So, having, you know, that day is coming. They know the enemy They know that day is coming. That why they want to level with you. They want to give you things, and so anyhow, uh, yeah, and Abraham, he have also dominion over fire. You remember, was Abraham was thrown in the fire, and God says, uh, "Kunu bardan wa salama," meaning he, God commanded the fire not to burn Abraham when he was thrown in the fire. You understand? So he has, Abraham has, the father of all the prophets has dominion over fire. So he would never burn, because God given him that. You understand? So when you understand, Isa or Jesus, Jesus is a fake name, by the way. But anyhow, I keep telling you guys not to use that name. Anyhow, but for people who are born Christian, they do not understand that. When I say Isa, they don't understand what I'm talking about. They refer to him as Jesus. Jesus is really Satan, but yeah, it's not. Jesus and Satan are not the same being, you know. And so anyhow, um, yeah. So you understand what um, Jesus, he was, or Isa is given dominion. He's associated with the Son. The Son, the actual Son, and yeah. So when you understand that, then you understand each prophet and where they're. Okay, each prophet have gifts given to him by God. God giving you these gifts, and same thing for the 144,000. You are born with gifts, but God also is gonna give you gifts. They know this. The enemy knows, and now they're acting all cocky, and they don't acting like they don't care. But they keep offering me stuff all the time. They keep offering me stuff because they wanna get out of this one by making a deal with you. They wanna make amends, if you will, and yeah. So they offered me earlier when I was sleeping this piece of land back in Hamilton, Ontario, where I live, and it's expensively piece of land. That was my high school, the high school I went to, and they offered it to me. They're showing me all these boats, um, opening all these boats, and like having a shop where they rent boats and stuff like that. And yeah, so thank you for the offer, but I have to decline, guys. What I want, you can't give me. What I want, only God can give me, right? So yeah, so do not come to me in a dream state to offer me something. I'm not really interested in any of offer. You offered me a lot of stuff. If we are 144,000 who've been targeted globally by the governments, by the elites, or United Kingdom, if you will, the Commonwealth countries, and United States or whatever, if we are in the wrong, would you offer somebody money? Would you offer me money if we're in the wrong? Just think of it for a second. You offered me a lot of stuff. Oh yeah, you're gonna be very wealthy. You don't have to worry about money anymore. You don't have to worry about money because we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that, and I keep rejecting their offer. It's not about money. It's not about money, guys. If Because if it was about money, I would have accepted your offer a long time ago. It's about justice. It's about end of oppression. It's about serving the Almighty, the Infinite, the Creator of the universe. It's about that. For me to accept something from you is like rejecting God. Okay, that's not gonna happen. Not in a million years. Besides, you think of it. When you die, you can't take it with you. Can you take your money with you when you die? Huh? when الموت يجيك تفتكر إن هتشيل فلوسك معاك. Exactly what it means. It means when you die, you think you're gonna take this wealth with you. You wanna offer me. You offered me a lot of stuff in the past. You still continue to offer me. If we are in the wrong, you keep lying to these people to serve you, to attack me, and yet you offer me money, you offer me wealth, you offer me all this abundance, right? So I want you to go and uh, you know in the news outlets, social media and stuff, and publicize what you've done to us, to all humanity, and all of that. I want you to air it. You know, I want you to bring it to the public, and you say the Crown have done, the Crown of England, the Commonwealth countries who are involved in our targeting, the 13 bloodline, the Council of 300, the shadow governments, the secret services, and all of that, because you are getting paid by the Crown of England. You know what? Even though I'm a Canadian citizen, it doesn't make me a property of United Kingdom. United Kingdom, you need to wake up the hell up. You don't own me. You don't own me. You don't you don't get to manipulate me or shape me the way you think I should be shaped. I don't report to you. I keep telling you that. I don't report to you. I'll never report to you. No king, no king is gonna report to another king. Right? Your king, your kingdom is only temporary. A house of Abraham kingdoms is forever. You understand? Who said that? God. When God says it's forever, it's forever. Hell is forever. Jahannam is forever. You know? And heaven is forever. If you enter heaven, it's forever. There's no one day is God is gonna change his mind. He's gonna say, no, it's gonna be temporary. Guess what? I lied to you. No. God is God of truth. God doesn't lie. He doesn't overpromise and deliver. He does not overpromise and underdeliver. Right? So do not come in a dream state trying to offer me something. I don't want whatever you have to offer me. You know? But your wealth is going to be given away. I can tell you that. Bi'idhnillah. Prophecy foretells all your wealth, all these wealthy globalists, all their money is going to be taken and given to the poor. Okay? That's what God says. Okay? God is God of truth. Okay? And all these people who are participating in targeting us, they're going to be brought into judgments. Okay? And you cannot get yourself out of this one. Okay? And so act now. You act like you're untouchable. Then nothing can get to you. You keep lying to these people. Even Sudanese who are working for you will be judged. You're not gonna get free get out of jail card to do whatever you want. Everything comes with the consequences. You hurt somebody, is going to be written in your book of deeds. Remember that. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل فيكم.